Hello. That's very loud. Okay, so I co-directed this movie. I'm Aaron Katz. This is Martha Stevens. We directed this movie together. We also have Paul Eenhoorn. Elizabeth Mckee. And Earl announcing who plays Mitch will be here shortly. Yeah, I guess we want to start out by thanking Sony Pictures Classics and Los Angeles Film Festival, Film Independent, and Game Changer who financed this movie. And yeah, I guess we're just here to answer any questions that you might have.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hello.
Let me first off say that's one of the best films I've seen this year in 2014, and I've seen over 100 films in the theater. Love the film, congratulations. What is something that you miss most about the making of this film, and something you might have you don't miss about the making of this film?
Paul, that sounds like a question for you.
I tell you what, Bruce Willis couldn't have shot this film. It was physically demanding and mentally demanding, because we shot the first, I think, couple of weeks in the outlying areas of Iceland. And it's a beautiful country, but the roads aren't graded at the end of it. Once September's over, it's potholes. And some of the outlying areas like Longmanalulu were a long road. And it was cold because it was full. And so you never got warm until you got back to wherever it was you were sleeping. And I miss a lot, actually. You know, when I watch the film, there were moments that I watch and it brings a tear to my eye, because it brings back memories of how incredibly intense the whole film was to shoot for really a small crew. And we kind of all went through it together. And I think I'm the only one who ever got shitty. Yeah, because you know, working under that, it was a short window to shoot in. And we only got called on one day for weather, so we were really lucky. But yeah, you know, you always miss the last shoot and the things that you remember and the things that you did and the work that you did. So it was really, it's a wonderful piece of work for everybody who were in that crew. So yeah, that's the answer, I suppose.
Thanks, Paul. All right, yeah.
The movie is beautiful to look at. I mean, it's unusually sensitive to the landscape of Iceland, the way it, you know, reflects what the characters are going through and kind of illuminates that. How much did you guys know about Iceland before you made the movie? I mean, going in, were you familiar with it, or?
I mean, I did like a brief week-long location scout, and then we had 2 weeks of pre-production. So not a lot, but I think because it's a movie about outsiders coming to Iceland, it made me feel okay that we were foreigners making a movie in a strange land. It's our Lynn.
Woo!
Sorry I'm late, I had to get me some groceries.
He was eating. That's groceries mean he was having dinner. It's just deciphering here. Yeah, I mean, we wrote the script with, you know, Iceland in mind, and even though we couldn't afford to, you know, take multiple trips to location scout and do what we needed, we looked at a lot of people's photo journals on the internet and got ideas based off that. And anything to say?
No, I think that covers it. That's good.
Okay, great.
So in other words, just average people were your location scouts. That's the first part. But no, what gave you the inspiration to write this story?
He's walking away right now. I don't know where he's going, but
Buddy, good seeing you.
okay. Well,
That was my nephew on Eastbound and Down, guys.
Earl and I are cousins. He's been in my first 2 films, and I actually just always wanted to put Earl in a leading role in something, and so I was planning this trip to Iceland with my husband, and looking at the photos of Iceland, I was like, wouldn't it be amazing to take Earl into Iceland? And wouldn't it be amazing if Aaron and I can make a movie together? And so all of those elements came together. And that's kind of how, I mean, it sounds kind of cheesy when I say it like that, but really it was taking Earl into Iceland, working with Aaron, and then Aaron and I saw Paul and Mrs. Martin Bonner, our friend Chad, made this wonderful movie, and he's so good in it, and he's so different than Earl Lynn. We just thought these two guys together could be fun and interesting.
Yeah, I find it extraordinary that two young people like you could write a script about two old cockers.
I take offense to that, you know?
Yeah. Fuck you, man.
The horse you rode in on.
Erlin usually has a pretty good answer for that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think that, you know, people say this is a movie about two old codgers. Let me tell you something. You know, people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, you know, they lose their jobs. They get divorced. They have their friends or relatives die. And they have to get on with their lives. I don't know why that people are pinholing this into an old people movie when this is a movie for everybody. You know, I mean, it's talking about, you know, taking your life and going on with it, you know. Live every day, because guess what, tomorrow might not come. And that's my philosophy. And that's the way I am, and that's the way I live, you know. And yes, I'm an old codger, but guess what? Everything still works for this old codger, okay? And I've got proof of that, okay? My grandfather on my mama's side had her last son when he was 76. Grandfather on mother's side had his last son when he was 75. So guess what? I'm only 72, by the way, if y'all didn't know that. So I've still got 3 or 4 years that my stinger is still working, guys. So, I'm sorry. There was somebody else had a question. Apologize. I can't see with this damn light. I'm sorry.
I have a question over here. I want to know from the two main actors, do you have any interesting road stories that came out of this movie?
Any road stories? Are you kidding? Any interesting road stories? I'll pass over to Polly, baby. Come on, Polly.
Oh, you don't want to know. No. No, it was the whole film was a road story all the way from day one. I arrived, I think, on around lunchtime on a Friday or something, and I didn't have time to get jet lag because we started shooting the next morning early, and it would be a day like a 7 till whatever time, 9, and then it would be a 2 till 2, and so I was really shell shocked. My body just stopped working. The whole shoot was
Did not stop working.
Well, parts of my body stopped working.
Okay. Okay, I agree with that.
But yeah, no, the whole thing was a really quite an experience from day one. So the whole thing was a road story. Then we went back to Reykjavik, so it became a little more comfortable. But you know, the outlying areas were just amazing because it's like touring a whole country. You know, like it's like doing all of Europe in one day, because you go from glaciers to black sand to beaches to mountains to waterfalls, and you can do that. You could probably do the Golden Circle in a day. The best story is we had to wear one outfit for the whole Golden Circle because it was basically sequential for the day. You know? So I'm wearing what I thought were warm pants, and they weren't. And we got wet, And it was cold, and my legs were freezing, and I remember all of
Yeah,
that.
it's tidy-whities, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did Stroker, and we got soaked to the skin there as well.
Yes, we did.
The whole thing was really a cool tour. Really cool. You should do that.
Cool, cold, very cold.
Next.
Right.
Did you have to, is that Jewish mysticism story real, and did you study that to sound credible? Any thoughts?
The story is actually sort of based on a story that we have, like a book of mystery stories from the 80s. We just picked one that sounded good. And I actually study Jewish mysticism sort of it's like an interest of mine, but not, I minored in religion in college, so it's kind of something I've been interested in.
Yeah, I should say that we wrote the movie not only with Paul and Earl Lynn in mind, but also with Elizabeth and Carrie.
Look like the devil having a climax out of the earth. Okay. The lighthouse, an erection with no balls. I didn't say it wasn't written. I just say, I was answering the question, okay? And the other one was, y'all saw the Black Beach scene, when the wind was blowing like hell. We were running all over the place and dancing. The wind was blowing about 35 to 45 miles an hour. And you saw that majestic rock out in the ocean. The Icelanders call it Dick Rock, okay? It is so true, believe me. I taught them that it was Dick Rock, okay? Hold on a second, yeah. Let me taking this away from me. Let me ask y'all, did y'all like our movie or not?
Yeah! Woo!
We enjoyed the hell out of doing it. And the most important thing is that whole crew that we had up there, that we were like a family. For 3 or 4 weeks, we lived together. We shared, not shared the showers together, but we took showers and and the shitters and this, that, and the other, because of the situation. But we had a good time, and that's why this movie makes it so good, because they didn't have 5 cents extra when the movie was over with, because it's expensive to do a movie up there, believe it or not. Iceland is not a cheap place. It's a beautiful, beautiful island. And I think the tourism in Iceland should be giving Aaron and Martha a big, big chunk of, because the tourism I know has increased since this movie has come out. Because I've had my family and my wife's family and other people, my patients have been going to Iceland just for a long weekend. From everywhere, Colorado, Tennessee, North Carolina, Maryland, so forth. But thank y'all for liking our movie, and hopefully with y'all's help, maybe we can do another one more of these days if y'all want to.
I think it's a signal that it's time to wrap things up, but I just want to say this movie comes out on July 11th from Sony Pictures Classics, so if you liked it, please tell your friends to go check it out. Thank you very much. And we open at the Lemley Royal.